Hi, I'm Jilly G. Welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to show you my spaghetti, which is naturally gluten-free. Of course, my noodles are also going to be gluten-free, but the spaghetti sauce is already gluten-free. But this is actually my mom's recipe, but I'm going to show you the kind of fast version of this recipe. When tomatoes are in season from my garden, I will actually make very large batches of this sauce and then I'll can it. But today I'm just going to show you what you could go to the grocery store and get, or if you already have it in your pantry. And this brand of tomatoes, they do say gluten-free on the cans. You might be wondering, well, tomatoes and tomato sauce is already gluten-free, but sometimes there are products out there that won't verify if they are or not. And so I usually try to get this brand, unless there's another brand that you know for sure. But this one, and this one works really well. I really like this one. Not sponsored, it's just the one that I like. And as you can see, really not very many ingredients either. I've got, about a 12-ounce package of mushrooms that I've already cut up, 1 onion, about 4 garlic cloves, some spices, and then I've got a large can of diced tomatoes, 1 can of tomato sauce, and 1 can of tomato paste. And then in my pot, I have about 1 pound of ground beef. And so I'm just going to finish cutting up my other ingredients, my onions and garlic, and then my mushrooms are ready. You don't have to put mushrooms in here. You could also do peppers or whatever else you like to go in your spaghetti. But this is just what I like. So I'm going to cut up my onion and garlic, and then I'll show you how it all comes together. Three to 4 garlic cloves in there. And that was a small to medium onion. And because I don't use sugar, I've got 1 tablespoon of honey. About a teaspoon of salt and pepper. 1 teaspoon of basil leaves. And then 2 tablespoons of Italian spices. And this is just the spice mixes that you can get that just says Italian seasoning. Pretty simple. And if you don't have a fresh onion or fresh garlic, you could use, a teaspoon or so of dried onion flakes and garlic powder, whatever you've got. I'm going to move everything closer so I can throw it into my pot as needed. And in a large stock pot, with my 1 pound of ground beef, I'm going to turn it on about medium-high. Once your ground beef is almost all the way done, add in your onion, add in your salt and pepper, add in your mushrooms. Now for the garlic, stir those around a little bit. And the rest of our spices, again, the Italian seasoning and the basil. A large can of diced tomatoes, a can of tomato sauce, and a can of tomato paste. Add in your 1 tablespoon of honey. Give all of this a really good stir. Once this comes up to a boil, which mine is, I'm going to turn it down to low. We're going to keep that covered and simmer and stir occasionally for about 2 hours. You don't have to cook it for 2 hours. You could just simmer it for however long you want until your mushrooms and your onions are all soft and your meat is cooked through. But 2 hours it reduces down and really makes a good flavor. So that's been going for about an hour, and I've got my oven preheated to 375. And I'm going to roast some garlic in the oven. If you've never roasted garlic before, it's really good. So I'm going to slice my bread And this is just my version of garlic bread. But I just slice it and I toast it on both sides, however crunchy you like it. And then once our garlic is roasted, I mash it up and then spread it on my toast. And that is my version of garlic bread. So I've got 1 head of garlic here. You can take some of this extra paper off. I just cut the very top of it off, put it on some foil, move this out of the way, and just a cookie sheet with some foil. Oh, and I've got, about a tablespoon of olive oil, and I just pour that on, and then a pinch of salt and a pinch of pepper, and just pour that on. And then wrap the whole thing up. Into a little foil pocket here. And then this will go in the oven. I'll check it at about 20 minutes or so, see what we've got. But you want it to be really soft, and then you can just squish that head of garlic and all of the little cloves will come out. So in the oven. And then I'm going to slice my bread and get it ready to be toasted as well. I'll put a link for my bread video below in the description box. It's a really fast, easy way to do a lot of garlic bread at one time. My garlic has about, 10 more minutes or so in the oven. I toasted my bread on both sides. I'm cooking the garlic a little bit longer because I kept opening the oven to flip my bread. And it's pretty well toasted on both sides, and so I'm just letting it sit here. Once my garlic is roasted, I'm going to mash it around with this butter and make garlic butter. And then I've got, kind of a 6 cheese Italian, whatever. Once I make my garlic butter, I'm going to spread it on my toast and then sprinkle some cheese on. And then we'll throw that back in the oven. I have a large pan here with water heating up. And about a pinch of salt. And I've mentioned this pasta before, but I really like this gluten-free pasta. And it's just spaghetti. Once my water is up to a boil, it should be close enough that my garlic will be done, and then it will all be ready at the same time. So be very careful unwrapping your garlic because it is hot. I don't know if you can hear my boiling water coming up to a boil. It's almost ready for the pasta. My salt and pepper kind of piled on the top there. And it's very hot, so be careful. Let this cool for just a minute. My water is up to a boil. They don't all fit in my pan. But once they start cooking, I can squish them all down in there. You could do this longer in the oven or in a casserole dish covered with foil. You can peel off the paper. And then be careful because it is hot. And you see the cloves just come right out. Periodically stir your pasta. And because the garlic cloves are hot, it's melted my butter. That's fine. And this is fine. And then you can just throw away your mess. And then I just start mashing my garlic up. If you let it go a little bit longer in the oven, it will turn more of a golden brown, but this is good right here. But you can let it go as long as you want. It almost will turn into kind of a garlic jelly consistency, which is really good. But I don't mind when it's a little bit chunky like this. And you could also add more salt and pepper if you want to. And I'm pretty sure I should have gotten a bigger bowl. And I just stir my noodles periodically just so they're not sticking together. I should have gone a little bit longer with my garlic in the oven. Usually it will mash up a lot better than this, but this will still be delicious. So once you've got that as mashed up as you want it to be, and even at this stage, you could just stick this whole thing back in the oven if you wanted to, in a oven-proof bowl. Cover it with foil. Sometimes when you're timing things in the kitchen to all be done at the same time, you don't hit the mark very well, but that's fine. Once you've made a mess with garlic butter all over everything, and then just spread a little bit of your garlic butter on your toast. However much you like. I guess it depends on how much you want to talk to people the next day. Drain your pasta. Finish up with my toast here. Save that for later. And then just sprinkle with cheese, however much you like. And I'm going to broil that while we serve up our pasta. Give it a good stir. Move things out of the way. Get yourself a little bit of pasta. You sprinkle a little more cheese on. I always like more cheese. Check on your toast. Find a hot pad. I've mentioned before, but I like the ends. And be careful, they are hot. Nice and toasted. Our cheese is melted. Our big chunks of garlic in there. It's really hot. You don't have to add meat. You could make this vegetarian. Or if you like meatballs, you could make meatballs and serve on this. It's really good. And I don't know about you, but the way that I like to eat my spaghetti and garlic bread is put my spaghetti on my garlic bread. If you like garlic, this garlic toast is for you. It's really good. Perfect for a Sunday dinner. You don't have to cook this for 2 hours like I did, but I really like how it thickens up and the flavors all come together. And a lot of times with things like this, they always taste better the next day anyways. And you can add, if you have a different spice that you like, or a different vegetable. Again, you could make this vegetarian. This sauce goes really well on zucchini noodles. I don't know if you've ever tried those. Maybe I'll have a video coming up soon of those. I have a noodle maker that makes zucchini noodles, and those are really good with this sauce. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, let me know, and we'll see you on the next one.